What's up, everyone? I hope you had a good week, because I have not. First off, I'd like to say this video is not clickbait, it's 100% true, so... But if you enjoyed this video, go leave a like and stay tuned to my channel because I'm gonna bring you guys some more videos. Most likely 2 or 3 a week. But before we get into the story and all the details, I wanted to lighten this video up a bit so it's not just me sitting here talking about how much I got screwed over and how much I screwed myself over. So here's the official start of my video featuring my best pal,
Since me and Quentin moved out of the house, he left some of his stuff there and I was kind of moving my stuff when he was already done. So I picked up a couple of his items for him right there. Actually, the Hershey's is mine. He left his mug, pink lemonade mix, and a bag of mini chocolate chips, which is probably the 3 most random objects you could lose or leave behind, but hey, oh well. So yeah, we're gonna go to his house, say hi to him, and then we'll get back to the video.
And I'm surprised he forgot his mug because he loves that mug. It's like his favorite.
So I just mentioned that me and Quentin moved out of the house, and if you guys haven't already known that yet, go to Quentin's channel. It is his most recent upload, and yeah, you'll find out why we are out of the house. And I've always loved how me and Quentin's house is literally a 3-minute drive, so I'm actually about to pull up. It's also funny that one of the houses I used to live in was actually 2 blocks away from Quentin's, so we could just hang out whenever as kids. And we're here, and Quentin's already ready. I think he was leaving, so that's why he's already ready. Listen to her purr. What's up, kid?
I'm here for my lemonade and coffee cup.
I told him you drink a lot of milk out of this cup. I thought you were actually gonna do it.
I don't trust myself from this distance.
There's that.
Give me my Choco Chippos.
Alright, so since I've explained to you the situation of what I'm going through, what's your opinion?
Well, when you told me the story, I told a couple of my friends the story so that I could get their opinion, try to find out ways to fix it for you. And me and everybody else both thought the same thing. You're a retard.
I know.
Because as soon as I got to the, yeah, and then he had to cash app them. They were like, dude, that's a scam.
I know. I knew. That was like the point where it got really sketchy for me.
It's weird that your bank, they insure all the money except what could get messed up, which is checks, and they said, oh, but we're not gonna insure that, that's on you.
Yeah.
That was kind of tard move. So now, I get to be a college student, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
And now I get to feel his pain. Dude, look at me right now.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I went through a year of college, he didn't, so now he's gonna go through his year, and then we'll be evened out.
And then we can be classmates.
Yeah! Alright, well, you have fun with your mug, pink lemonade, and chocolate chips, mister.
You wanna know what I'm about to do?
What?
I'm about to make some hot pink lemonade with some chocolate chips.
Even though we don't live in the same house, it's good to see my good old pal Quentin. And since we're not living in the same house anymore, it's gonna be a little bit harder to put Quentin in the videos, and I know you guys wanna see Quentin, and I want Quentin to be in the videos because they're a lot more fun to make when he's in them. But, like I said, we only live 3 minutes away, so shouldn't be that big of a deal. So now we're back onto my house so I can like sit down and film and talk to you guys, so I'm not like filming and driving because that's dangerous. So you heard it from Q-Dog, I'm an idiot. It's not easy to admit that, but it's the truth. But for now, let's just focus on what actually happened. So let's backtrack 2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks to the day. So I got an email from this director, right? And he claimed to be the director of a photography studio named David LaChapelle Photography Studio. And he basically offered me this modeling gig that was David LaChapelle Studios teaming up with Adidas. And I was like, okay, cool. And so this part, people who aren't influencers, just normal everyday people who have normal jobs, at this point, like, they would have already known it was a scam because they'd be like, well, why are they just randomly picking me? They don't even know who I am. Like, I'm not famous or known or anything. So that's where most people would have called this a scam.
and for my situation it just wasn't like that. And I've done like modeling gigs before, but they were mostly for people that I knew, and like Tanner and for Dibs Clothing and stuff like that. So it didn't really seem too out of the ordinary that I would get this email. And I read through the email thoroughly a bunch of times, and it looked legit. I mean, I had my friends look over it, I even had my mom look over it, just see what she thought, and it looked pretty good. It was long, it had all the details, it had everything that I thought a modeling or photography studio or whatever would have me, like information they'd have me send over. And it looked pretty good, like it looked pretty authentic. I mean, it's kind of hard to look past to see if something's legit or not, because I email a lot of people and I've seen a lot of I've seen scams before, and this honestly in the moment didn't seem like a scam. So this next part is a very important part of why I got scammed, and pretty much why I didn't see this as a scam until it was too late. It was because of how much money they were going to pay me to do this gig. So in the email it said that it would be 4 different dates and that I would be there from 8 to 3 p.m. So 4 different days for not very long, and for $8 grand, which is a lot of money. Also, it mentioned in the email that I would be getting paid $500 up front and then $7,500 after I did the shoots. Also, they sent me over a contract, and I looked through it probably like 5 times. I had my mom look through it and read it. I had other people look at it, and it looked really professional. That's one more thing that a lot of people aren't going to catch, because it depends on how many contracts you've actually looked at and to see if it was like legit or not. And this one looked pretty legit, so I don't know, it's just all about trusting your gut. So 3 days after this happened, they sent me a check for $4 grand, and I was like, I thought my upfront payment was $500. And they're like, well, we also need you to pay this hairstylist for wardrobe and for like makeup and stuff for the shoots. And I was like, okay, why couldn't you have paid them? They said something like the co-sponsor for the event only made it out in one payment, so that I had to pay the hairstylist for wardrobe and all my clothes, and then keep $500 for my upfront payment. And so that's what I did, and they sent me a check, like literally a check in the mail for $4 grand. And what I did was I went and cashed that check to I went and cashed it into my bank account, right? And this is the part that Quentin was talking about, that him and his friends think I'm an idiot for, and this is definitely one of the big parts where I screwed up. And they told me to cash app this person, right? So I did, and I cashed out them $2,500 for wardrobe, hairstylist, makeup. I was like, okay, well, I did that. And the part of me at this point that didn't think it was a scam, even though I kinda did, but I really didn't, is because they sent me a check, and when I took it to the bank, I thought the bank would be able to tell if it was fake or not, or if it was legit, and they couldn't tell, and I thought they looked at it to make sure it was good, and whenever I went and cashed it, the bank said it was okay. So I was like, alright, cool. Then it must not be a scam, I must just be like losing my mind or something. So basically, the next morning, my bank calls me, right? And they say, hey, the check you cashed yesterday is counterfeit. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I knew at that point it was a scam, and I was just like, you gotta be joking me. And so the $2,500 that I cash apped this person, which I'm assuming it was just the same people who emailed me, it came out of my money instead of the money from the check that I received. So within the last 2 weeks, I've called my bank several times, I've contacted Cash App, and I've tried to contact these people who did this to me, and nobody can help me. Like, my bank said that because I cashed the check that I'm responsible for it, and Cash App told me the only way I can get my money back is if the person I sent it to sends it back to me, and that's not gonna happen. And there's no way I can beg and plead for this person who did this to me to send me my money back, because it's what they do. It's a horrible way of living, and it just kinda ruins people's lives. I wouldn't say my whole life is ruined, but it definitely made things a little harder for me, just because, you know, it's $2,500, so I don't know. I could have used that for a lot of things, and I could have just saved it like I was doing. So yeah. So if you took anything away from this story, especially if you're an influencer or someone who is trying to be big on social media, or a model or an actress or actor or whatever, definitely triple check for like authenticity, because even if it looks good, you got to check out everything. Number 2, if it seems too good to be true, then it most likely is, because that's how it went in this situation. Third thing, which also kind of ties in the first 2 things, trust your gut and don't be an idiot. Like me. If you didn't learn anything from this story, then I'm glad you just stuck around. So the camera was being weird, so I just had to end it right there. So I just got done editing this video. Even though it wasn't the most fun to film, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.